Hello, hello, here we go. It's the Cop-Eye Podcast.
What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Cop-Eye Podcast. It's Mick and Kristian once again. Kristian, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Can't complain. The day after a good win against Tottenham. So yeah, and you saw the Champions League draw as well. So even though we face Real Madrid, I feel quite excited. So payback time.
Yeah, I think just from just chats with people, obviously we wanted to avoid Madrid, and we might as well talk about that before the Spurs game. We want to avoid them, but I just think I'd rather play them over a two-legged game where they're capable of beating us in a one-off, and they have done most recently in the two finals we played them. So I'd much rather play them in a two-legged, and as you can see at the bottom there. First leg is at Anfield and will be played on either the 14th or 15th of February or the 21st or 22nd of February. And the second leg will be on either the 7th or 8th or the 14th or 15th of March. So Anfield first, like you text me, Liverpool 5, Real Madrid 0, first leg, and then we take them to their place.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I thought that as well. If we were going to get Real Madrid, I'd much rather have them over two legs than playing them in, for example, a final, because obviously we've seen how they have, gone before. Previously, when we played them, they won both times. So I'd rather just play them over two legs. And like you said, we got Anfield in the back. With the crowd and Champions League night, that could actually affect us and them big way. I would say we've seen it before, and you never know if you come away with a 2-3-0 win. If you get that chance of playing at Anfield, doing that kind of game, we go to Madrid and we can actually, I wouldn't say park the bus, we can control it. So let's have it. You need to sometimes face the best to become the best anyway. So I'm not the person that is kind of concerned about who's going to draw and who's the easy and stuff. I'll just be like, yeah, come on, get us whatever, and we just have to sort it anyway. So
yeah, I think it's. I mean, if it's I might as well throw the just if you're watching live on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, then do if you're watching right now, just before we get into the draw in full, because I've got apologies to people that are listening later in the day or not watching at all and listening. I'm just putting up a screenshot of the draw as a whole. So as you can see there, Man City have drawn Leipzig, Club Brugge against Benfica, Liverpool versus Real Madrid, AC Milan and Spurs, Frankfurt and Napoli, Dortmund and Chelsea, tasty one. Milan and Porto and PSG and Bayern, another tasty one. It's good. I mean, we've got the hardest draw really that we could have got, but there's a few good games there, isn't there? Like AC Milan, Spurs, Dortmund, Chelsea, PSG, Bayern. Obviously not Leipzig and City, but that's going to be an easy one ish for them. But good draw, isn't it? Apart from our one.
Yeah, well, we could have gotten Bayern Munich as well, and I know we beat them when we played them in 2019, that, but if you look at it, it's not a easy team to play or not a easy place to go, if you like, when you're playing away. So Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, both of them would have been really hard. Say Porto, Benfica, I think Benfica has been really good as well. So I wasn't keen on them, even if this game will be played in February or March. Then, but I just think Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, that was it. And we need to face them anyway. So in my opinion, I'd rather have Real Madrid than Bayern Munich, because we need to pay back against Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich would probably like to pay back against us. So
yeah, so either way, I mean, like you said, it does
sometimes
matter.
It does matter, yeah, but
yeah, it's like there's nothing. I mean, like we said, I'd much prefer to play Madrid again, but in this scenario, I know we played them in the no fans season, which I don't even remember. Don't even remember that game that much. I obviously remember the 4-0 at Anfield after beating them 1-0. Beat them 1-0 at the Bernabeu as well. Was it Yossi Benayoun got a nice little goal, and then the Gerrard goals and Torres goals against them in the home leg, which was just absolutely glorious. Because I remember, like, before that was like, what, 2008, 2009, weren't it? Like, before that game, like Van der Vaart was saying, "Oh, Liverpool are scared of Real Madrid and whatever," and then we go and like just batter them over 2 legs. Which, let's hope that's it. We can just, we need Anfield to be like it was then for those type of games as well, don't we?
Yeah, and I would also say, there will be another time in comparison to now, because obviously there will be a World Cup break. It will be a new year. It will be, a few months in of the new year as well. So we might be at a totally different place as a team in form or whatever. So, if it was now, yes, we would probably have been a little bit concerned. But now there's time for a rest after the Southampton game. And regroup. We don't know what's going to happen in January. We might bring someone in that can play for us in the Champions League. You never know. And the thing is as well, if we continue on a good run in the Premier League in the new year going forward, then we might have hit the form and actually got everything going in at the time we were going to play them. So there's loads of time to prepare and hopefully get things right.
Yeah, and like, we're going to get on to the Spurs game was a good step in the right direction. We're just going to go through the comments for the people watching live. Liz says, we just have to beat Madrid, and then it's clear sailing, no worries. Hopefully. Paul says, afternoon all, if we want to beat the best, we have to beat the best. Yeah. Lee is in, nice one, Lee. He says, agreed, far better chance over 2 legs, of which is Anfield, bring it on. Doug says, good afternoon, Barcelona just drew Manchester United in the Europa League. Oh my God, did they? Wow. That's gonna be a good one. Jesus Christ! And I mean, the Champions League draw is bad enough without watching the Europa League on as well. But Liz is in. Lee also says February means, like you said, Kristian. February means more chance of Diaz and Jota being back as well. And then Paul says that this might force the board to invest in January. Yeah. I mean, we're getting by okay at the minute, but like you said, we don't know what's going to happen between now and February. It's a long, long time, like World Cup, games, Christmas, bevies, loads of turkey, exactly. Whatever else. January, like there's loads of factors that we might be hopefully we're in a much, much better place in the Premier League, which brings us on to actually, before we get on to that, I just want to give another shout out to Jack Design. So if you're, we've recently formed a little partnership with Jack. So if you can see the link on the bottom there, and if you're listening, I'll just read it out for you. It's jackdesign.uk/shop. If you head over to the website and enter the code COPI10, you can get 10% off anything from his website. Helps us out and it helps him out. Helps us like provide more of these shows, because we've been doing loads lately, and I know me and Kristian have been really enjoying it, and hopefully you're enjoying watching and listening. So if you wouldn't mind, if you need a Christmas present with Christmas coming up, like we just said, if you need some Crimbo prezzies, go and use the website and get 10% off with the code COPITE10. We'd really appreciate it. But yeah, we've done a team news reaction show, and we were both quite happy with the lineup. And then the game, like, we pretty much finished just before the game kicked off, and then 11 minutes in, Mo Salah, nice little. Actually, I watched the replay of that first goal loads, because I really like the play that started it. Trent back to Kanate, nice little fastball into Salah's feet. Salah plays it round the corner. Elliott then plays it to Bobby. Bobby plays it to the wing to Robbo into Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez had loads of shots, but that moment he took a bit of composure, played it into Salah. Salah's first touch is just magic, and then like just buried it bottom corner. It was perfect. We said in the team news show and the preview show, we need a quick start and just to score the first goal to give us a cushion, because we know what we're like when we're trying to get the first goal, trying to chase games. It's hard, but to get the first goal like that was just like settled me down loads, and it made me just feel like actually we can cause these a load more problems in this game.
Yeah, and I like that we said obviously in the show before the game that a nice early goal to us would would mean that we can actually relax a bit and, you know, sit back. And that was actually what happened. And yeah, like you just described the goal, it was a good goal, good team goal. And, you know, I just felt, you know, it's again, something clicked and everything worked. And I think we were really, really good at the start of the game. Obviously, the first 15, 20 minutes, I thought we were really, really good. Obviously, we will come into second half and not being kind of same level. But yeah, nice first goal. And it didn't, you know, Spurs had a couple of chances, obviously hitting the crossbar and all that. But I felt like we controlled the game quite a lot in the first half.
Yeah, the first half, it was. I mean, after we got the goal, I think up until we got the goal, I thought we were really pressing and we were really looked really dangerous. And I think it's just systematic of our current form that once we kind of get a lead, I don't know if we kind of were playing it around a little bit too much. And like you said, I think Perisic hits the post, doesn't he, first half, and
Yeah,
he hits the
post,
bar
yeah,
second half.
exactly.
And you're just like, oh my god, chances near the end. But it was perfect because after the first goal, there was obviously a half an hour period after that, just before half time, where we're looking for that second goal, but they're also capable of scoring as well. So it's just one of them. But long ball by Ali, and Eric Dyer just decides to, I don't know what he was trying to do, head it back to the keeper, and it kind of hits his shoulder. Mo Salah goes, nice one, lad. Runs on. And then just chips Lloris and just perfect, just clinical, just proper clinical. And that was just before half time. Like we hit them at the perfect times, like quite early on, and then at the end of the first half. So to get a 2-goal lead going into the second half, especially away from home and against the team that we struggled with against last year when we were battering everyone, it was perfect, wasn't it? Perfect half, I thought.
Yeah, two great goals in perfect times, as I said, early and in the end of the first half. Going in to the second half, I was, you know, thinking, you know, we just need to control the game now. We don't have to stress. We're 2-0 up. You know, we still play our game, obviously, but there's no point to stress. We don't have to force ourselves forward all the time. So I even wrote like a tweet, but I think that wasn't Swedish. But anyway, I wrote something about just controlling the game and just, you know, play our game and don't stress. And yeah, the first thing that happened in the second half, I just felt that what is this? It's like, you know, another team on the pitch. I didn't feel that we played with control. I didn't feel that we, you know, had the energy. Felt a bit sloppy, and Tottenham were just working their way into the game and started to become more and more dangerous. So I was, you know, pretty scared that we were talking about if they get an early goal there, we can actually like lose the grip from this game, you know, and yeah, that was happened as well, even if it was a little bit later. But I felt that they actually worked themselves into the game and kind of deserved to get the goal, to be honest, even though you don't really, you know, you don't want it to happen. But that's what happens if you don't, you know, stand your ground and defend and play your game, because I felt that we were really, really sloppy.
Yeah, it's just like I put a tweet up as well. Like I was like, that's a perfect half for us, being 2-0 up against the team we struggled with in the previous year. But the passing, just it's like someone will pass it on and then they'll have it and then they'll just hit it as fast as they can. Like Fabinho done it a few times, Thiago done it, even was guilty of it a few times, where just kind of just rushing the final pass, and
losing the ball quite many times,
and losing the ball as well.
Yeah.
Just bringing our own problems on ourselves, which has been what we've been doing this season. But like obviously we did get over the line. Just quickly a few comments. Lee says Darwin is getting there 10 out of 10 for his desire. Yeah, he had a volley, didn't he?
Yeah.
First half. Yeah. One of them was going to go in soon. He had a belter against West Ham at the post with his left foot. Good one against Everton. Pickford's just about touched it with his little arms. And yeah, this one he's gonna catch one of them perfectly soon. It's gonna go top corner, and I can't wait for it.
It's hard for him to actually come to the angle and actually, you know, execute that finish or, you know, that shot, because it bounces and then you have to adjust his body and you come to the right with his foot, and it is brilliant, you know, considering the way he has to take on that ball and actually fire that shot. So yeah, at some point there will be a great goal.
Yeah, I think it was a hell of a strike, but yeah, he got an assist, which is I think he's now on 7 goals and
should have had 2
assists.
because Salah should have scored in another that he actually just placed it on a plate for him. Like Salah actually used he stressed that shot, but he could have just actually, you know, just receive it and take it easy and actually try to do something better from it, because he just stresses it and it turns out to be nothing really.
Yeah, I think Nunes done that quite. I'd love to see how many shots Nunes had in the game, because he was just having pot shots from all over the shop.
Crossbar as well.
Yeah, he had a few where he was cutting inside like Diaz-esque from the left, and then having shots, but just kind of scuffed it, went down the middle. But Lee says, I just watched the Sonos, every angle of it, of the first goal, and it's a really good team play. Yeah, amazing. And then Liz says, great team goal. Salah scores beautiful goals. And Liz just agreeing with you on the, like, it was definitely a game of two halves. I think they got a corner within like the first like 15 seconds of the second half, and I was like, oh fucking hell, here we go, like just starting in the worst possible way. I think it was Kane scores on 70. We were texting each other like on about 58 or 60, and I was like, we need something on the field here, because everyone just looked knackered. Like, they were quite rightly stretching us. They'd go over to the right, they'd smash it back over to the left, just trying to stretch us in the way that we usually do against teams like Trent to Robbo, and Robbo to Trent, and whatever else, just trying to stretch the field out. And they were doing it to us, but we didn't have. Everyone just looked knackered, and it took. We didn't actually make a change until it was 2-1. Jones comes on for Firmino, and Henderson comes on for Elliott as well. And to be fair, it was only when Kulusevski comes onto the field. Obviously, you get to the assist for Kane, but I thought he looked really dangerous when he came onto the pitch. Like, he kind of just cuts inside, and those little floated balls like into the area that he was doing it. They're just so dangerous then. But he looked like I've seen him loads this year, but he even in that game in 20 minutes that he had, he looked dangerous, didn't he?
Yeah, and I texted you just before he was coming on and said, "Here comes the Swede." It's just typical, because you're thinking, "Oh, now he's going to have an impact," and he did, and he was really good. From a Swedish point of view, obviously, seeing a player with that kind of level that he has, because he's still very young, he's good. To be honest, I would have loved him in Liverpool, because he's got the energy, the pace, the technique. He's really dangerous. I think he will only actually become better as well. So we'll see what kind of level he actually reaches to. But yeah, he came in and sorted out Harry Kane for a goal, and he kept on doing that. So 2-1, and I was a little bit concerned. It was on the in the 70th minute, and you were thinking like, if they score now, they scored and they have the time to score again. And because they were on us that much, I was a little bit concerned, because you just hate to sit out the last 20 minutes and just wait for us to win it. So yeah, but we know. I was texting you as well. I said, even though we were looking okay, I felt that I really expect like a more kind of more fighting, more intensity for actually fighting for the 3 points, because I felt we have the 3 points here. We are in lead, but it looks like the players don't really. I want it to just burn. For someone, you can tell by seeing in their eyes or the way they actually runs or tackles, but you don't see it. I just want to make sure that they actually fight for the 3 points that we really need at this time, because we would lose a lot of ground for the top 4 places. So I'm more concerned about that than anything else. That just still looks like there's something really missing.
Just looking on the stat, like they had 5 on target, we had 6. They had 6 off target, we had 3. And I do agree with you. Like we were saying, like we need more energy, because like our outball obviously was Salah and Nunes, and Nunes was just kind of running with the ball like down the wing, getting us out of some situations. Same with Salah, but it was the midfield that I just felt like I just feel like we desperately need something in there. Like even when we brought Hendo on, we brought Gomez on towards the end as well. Went to a back 5, kind of 5. I think like you could see Gomez like saying 5-4-1, which is something that I think that might be a new thing for us as well. I think usually what we'd do is we'd bring on a Diaz or a Jota and kind of go, well, we're still going to have the outball and we'll keep playing and try and get another goal. And I've not really seen us do that, where we go, right, let's try and get this game over the line, which I think we need to do, especially in the form that we're in. I think it's something that probably we need to do more as well, but hopefully a little bit better. But Lee says, apart from their goal, our defence seems solid again. All respect to Gomez, but Ibu seems a lot less jittery. We've got to talk about Konate. We've got to, because what a player he is. Like we both said before the game, like he's so key, especially with a high line and helping Trent out. So many situations where obviously the penalty that they think they should have, and then I just go, well, we didn't get the Jota one last year, so if you're not getting one for the Jota one, which was a worse push in the back, you're not getting that one. I think if it was down the other end, you'd be screaming for it, but it's one of them that you sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But a couple of times where Sessegnon is through and Konate just comes over and kind of just putting out fires. Like he's just so good at it, and we just need to keep him fit. I think Van Dijk just feels better with him alongside him as well, just because we're a lot less, like Lee says, we're a lot less jittery and we feel a lot more secure. I don't feel like they're going to score every time they're through, whereas in the rest of the year I have without Konate, because you feel like they can score at any moment. But Konate just gives you that. He's just, I absolutely love him. He's great, isn't he?
Yeah, and we talked about it before the game as well. We got these two big lads with pace in the center, as centre backs, and I think he's great as well. He's still young as well, so you look at him now with his
23,
skills.
I think. Only 23.
And I think also without him in this game, I think we will, even if we scored two, I think we could have, lost it. To be honest, and
could have drew
easily,
yeah,
exactly, or even lose the game, because I think he had that impact as a defender, just making sure that they didn't get all the balls through. And together with Van Dijk, like you said, it seems like they are feeling more safe with each other as well. So, like you said, we need to keep him fit and don't rush it too much. Now we're playing Derby midweek before Southampton game, so it's just. Even if you want to go through in all competitions that you're in, then it's time for some rotation and rest and let youngsters play. So just the focus on Southampton and the Derby game will go as it will go. So yeah, with him fit, I think we have a really good opportunity for just being more safe defensively.
Yeah, I just think he's just I put a tweet up like master and apprentice, like Konate and Van Dijk. Van Dijk's 31, Konate 23. So it's like Konate is like, if he carries on the way he is, like trajectory wise, oh my god, like what a player we've signed. Like it couldn't have ever. Obviously, we've seen bits of him for what the team he played for us. Was it Leipzig? Was it Leipzig? Or was it Salzburg? One of them, wasn't it? It's like one of the Red Bull teams, isn't it?
Exactly.
RB Sutton.
Yeah, I always just
I get mixed up with them all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was it? I think it was 36 million, which is like fucking hell. It's an absolute bargain. But Liz says Ibu seems more confident in his choices, and then Lee says,
and more direct as well. Like he's actually just going into the situation. Actually shows that, you're not coming through here, lad. He's just actually putting in the tackles. He's shown with his body that I'm just going to be in the way for you. I'm just going to do my job, and that's something that I want to see from other players as well. Like even if they do the job, I want to see that determination and fighting spirit, and that what we need collectively. And Konate is brilliant doing it. So you just hopefully give it to the others and say, this is what we need to do. Because if you do that as a team, you can win a lot of games just by doing it when, the game or the play doesn't actually click as you want. And if you just put in that kind of shift and work, then you might end up winning anyway.
Yeah, and like Lee says, like Gomez tends to go square to Van Dijk most of the time. Whereas like I mentioned and we've just been speaking about the first goal, it's that pass into Salah where Konate wraps it into Salah's feet. Salah's touch is amazing to flick it around to Elliott, but he still tries that pass, and that it breaks the lines. And like you said, like having someone in a team like that who's willing to put his body in and knock people over and knock people out the way and settle play, that's contagious for everyone else as well, because they're going to have to go. They have to react to that in a positive way. They have to be right. This is what this young lad who's amazing at centre half's doing. We all have to follow suit, and I thought that's something that we can take. And I thought we were better as a collective against Spurs, but like you said, they had quite a few chances towards the end. Like there was a flick on from Kane. The flick on from Kane, and can't remember who it was who was on the end of it, but I was like, fucking hell, just like very, very shaky. But the thing is, like, I haven't seen people on Twitter saying like kind of dissing us or whatever for the win, but I just saw a few big accounts like saying, "Oh, why aren't Liverpool fans happy with the win?" And I was like, exactly. Like, it was we got over the line. Like it was very, very nervy at the end, but we got a win against the team that we didn't win against last year. We drew twice, so in my book, that's a major win, isn't it? Especially when we were saying like before the game, we're 10 points behind. We were 10 points behind Spurs. We're now 7, which is still a massive gap. But if they would have drew that game against us or won it, then especially going into the Southampton game, we've just sacked their manager. They're going to have the new manager bounce if they've got a manager by Saturday, but they're going to be a different team. So we needed to win in that game, didn't we? So it was even more important, I thought.
Yeah, and obviously, if you take what happened in the first half and compare it to the second half, that's when we were great. And in the second half, I thought, like you said, we looked knackered and we were sloppy. And I think Fabinho, when they were playing it to stretch and swapping sides all the time, I thought he looked really, really slow, coming into his right positions and stuff. I just felt like now he's just on the wrong side, or he's need to be more, covering that space because the balls just go and, they switch the game all the time. But, there's still some signs there that needs to be worked on. And obviously now going into the derby in rotation and then Southampton and hopefully get the 3 points there, even though, like you said, they sacked the manager. We are playing at home the last game before their World Cup break, and I know that the boys obviously will have a send off the way the boys who's going away for that, or even the fans for not watching Premier League for a while, they want to go away with 3 points in the bag. And I just think, if we can just think, yeah, we got the 3 points from Tottenham and the second half wasn't good. There's still some, things that is concerning with intensity and energy and actually being able to just wrap up games and don't actually give so many chances away. But if Tottenham would have been more clinical, I think they would have had at least 2-2 or even gone and win it, to be honest, because they had proper chances to do it. We had a few as well, but I just felt like we need to step up a little bit here. But that's the thing, like we still have to be really happy and glad for the
Definitely.
3 points, because it's 3 points away against Spurs. It's one of them teams that are up there to compete for the Champions League spots, and we will be one of them, especially when Chelsea lost and Man United lost. We got the 3 points instead now, so let's go and do it against Southampton as well, and then they have a break and can work on this problem that we have had with the energy and stuff, and maybe they get a little bit of rest that they might need as well, a few players. So just be happy, but there's still things to work on, obviously.
Yeah, and I think it's like first away win in the Premier League for us this year.
Yeah.
So you can kind of understand the nervousness because we're like, fucking hell, 2-0 up. We need to see this game out. Kane scores, the nerves double because you're like, oh my God, like it only takes one more cross into the box and the back in the game, and then they could maybe nick it at the end. But Lee says Twitter has so much negativity from LFC fans. True Reds should back the team and not run them down. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Well, Kristian done a 10-minute piece the other day on the Twitter family, Twitter knobheads. Yeah, so we won't go back into that one again, but that was funny. Yeah, and then like you said, derby on Wednesday, so a chance for Kelleher, Bajcetic, Ramsey, Gomez, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, Tsimikas, Carvalho. Like there's enough players, like that's just off the bench from yesterday. So there's enough players there that we can make a decent enough team and kind of intertwine them in with some of the first team. So there's plenty of options, isn't there, for that one?
Yeah, and that would be great to see youngsters and see rotation. So the players that need the rest actually get the rest. They get like a week rest and just with training sessions instead and stuff like that. So yeah, we should be all fine for the derby game, with a fun and mixed team to play. It's always nice to see youngsters and see how they can perform, like Ramsey or what's his name?
Bajcetic.
Yeah, it's hard to say, especially when you have to say it in English as well. Anyway,
at least it's not Georgian fella.
Exactly. I would just say Bajcetic, but that's me. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's good. And then obviously have all been rested and going, full with the best team against Southampton. When I'm over, yay! Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Kristian is coming over on Friday for the Southampton game. So
yes, I will be knocking on your door on Friday morning at about 8:00.
with a little Irish whiskey ready to get going.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and see you and a few other mates and all that. But just looking forward to the game. Last before the World Cup, like I said, and actually try to just get the 3 points, because that will leave us in a much better place as well going into that break.
Definitely. And Liz just says, will James Milner be available for Derby? And I think he will, because Klopp said you miss one game, so he's missed the Spurs game. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. But hopefully he will be, because it'd be good to have him. Like we said, a blend of youth and experience, and you don't get more experience than James Milner. So hopefully he'll be ready for that one. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. We've covered the Champions League draw, Real Madrid again, which difficult, but
it's a little bit boring
exciting.
in one way, but you still have to do it. So it's exciting in the way that we're actually going to play the ones we lost the final against twice in recent time. So go and just get them out of there and actually just knock them out. That would be great. So it is what it is.
We've got a long gap till then, like we said. So there's anything can happen, but hopefully Liverpool are much healthier place in the Premier League, and then we can get players back. Hopefully, maybe sign someone in January, because Klopp said, I don't know, it was yesterday, the day before, like it would have been good to sign a player in a specific area, and we know what he means. Midfield, we know exactly what he means. And says, afternoon lads, Barcelona, Real Madrid, who the fuck are we trying to kid? Because Liverpool are the team that we adore. Exactly, and you came in at the exact right time there, because we're just getting out of here. But yeah, nice one. If you're watching live on YouTube, then do like and subscribe if you haven't already. There's been loads of comments there. Nice one, everyone, for jumping in. We've had Lee, Paul, Liz, Doug. Also we had Ant. Yeah, a few mothers as well. So nice one, everyone, for jumping in. We'll be back Tuesday, maybe Tuesday, for the little derby preview, or Wednesday. Yeah, we'll see. But Wednesday's the next game, so we'll try and do one before then, and then hopefully look ahead to Kristian coming over to Liverpool for a few bevies, so that'll be fun. But yeah, just before we go, another little shout out for Jack Design's shop, which is jackdesign.uk/shop. If with Christmas coming up and whatever, you can go and have a look at the website. There's loads of boss stuff on there. I'll have a little nice video edited for next time, so you can see if you're watching rather than listening. But yeah, it's jackdesign.uk/shop, and use the code COPITE10. You get 10% off. Like I said at the start of the show, me and Kristian have been loving doing these shows more often. And if you use that code and use the website for something you're going to buy off a different website, then that helps us out. Helps Jack out as well, who's a great fella and produces all boss Liverpool stuff. So if you want to do that, then it helps us and helps him, and helps us make more shows as well. So if you want to do that, then that'll be perfect, and we'd absolutely love you for it. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Nice one. Real Madrid in the Champions League beat Spurs 2-1 at their place. Derby on Wednesday, Southampton on Saturday. So loads of more stuff for us to get stuck into. But yeah, we appreciate everyone watching. If you're watching live or you're watching later, if you're listening, then yeah, leave us a rating if you're listening, because that really does help us out as well. But yeah, I'll stop asking you to do loads of stuff now, and we're getting out of here. Nice one, everyone. We appreciate it. See you soon.